Hey, I'm Shane, and this is That Dude's Garage. Again, we got Eurotrash and Kyle's here. We're going to do a how-to video on how to install a
Deisel Geek skid plate.
Dieselgate skid plate. It's over there on the floor. We'll get into that once we get the car up and get ready to go. He's got a couple of things to look at before we get started. Here we go.
So we got our skid plate. These are going to be the uprights that suspend it from the front. Obviously, this is a skid plate. It's a whole bag of hardware. A lot of people are not familiar with rib nuts. There's one or two in this kit. We'll go over those and how to install it without the installation tool. It's pretty basic. It's not a lot to it, but if you've never done anything that's like, off-brand as far as installations or modifications, it can be a little daunting, especially getting under the vehicle and not being able to see very well. Fortunately, we have a lift. It's going to make it a lot easier. Hopefully, we'll cover some things that are not covered in the Deisel Geek video and get this thing installed.
And if anybody has any questions, this is the company that makes the skid plate. And see how this goes. All right, so get it started. We're going to take some of the plastic shielding out of the way on the driver's side and passenger side. Ease access to the mounting for the down supports. So we'll get this out of the way so we can get access up into there. Kyle's working on that side right now. All right, so we lost the audio, but as you can see, Kyle is removing the intercooler pipe after removing the plastics on both sides, exposing where the uprights are going to go. Now we're getting ready to do the nutserts. That is a nutsert. It goes up inside the frame, and you can use a bolt, nut, and washer, or the tool to squeeze the nutsert down, and it turns into a nut inside the frame. Thread it onto here and squeeze it. And it'll turn into a nut. Kyle's now moving on to removing the mounting bracket hardware for the air interchange pump. On the TDI, you will not have this. On the gas model car, like his, it is here. Uses 3 mounting positions, nutsert in the front, and then the pump hardware to hold up this upright. And you have to remove the horn just to ease of access for installing the upright.
Ready?
Yep.
So this is how I've got it set up. I put the big nut on there just so I didn't have to run the bolt down as far, and I've got a washer to act as a bearing surface and a little bit of anti-seize on the threads just so I don't rip the threads out. Now this one you can't really get the tool up into. It's hard to really get anything up in here. As you can see, I have to take this piecemeal. And 17 millimeter open end. You got to make sure you push these rib nuts in firm before you even start trying to clamp down on them, or you'll start them crooked, and then they'll loosen up over time, and you'll have a heck of a time trying to get them out later. Uh-oh. Malfunction. Did rib nut things. The rib nut flats have rounded off, and now it is spinning freely with no way of reaching it to turn it. Because you've got your crash bar mount here, and your frame rail here, there's no way to get to it. So this is effectively stuck until we get creative. I'd love it when a plan comes together.
All right, so a little flash update. We got our do it without the tool method out because it didn't work, and then we got the tool in there. So I suggest anybody who wants to use rib nuts, just go spend the $30 on the tool.
It will pay for itself in lack of headache and heartbreak in the first project. Use regular washer.
And by the looks of it, if you end up not being able to get the rib nut on it, you'll probably be okay using the 2 injection pump mounting bolts.
I meant to do that.
Do this job in the summer so you're not getting dripped on by melting snow the whole time you're working under the car.
Pro tip.
Okay, so Kyle's working on tightening down the driver's side. I got the passenger side bolted in there. We're going to reinstall the turbo pipe. He's putting the horn back in.
Pro tip, make sure you plug the horn back in before you put the plate up, because you will not be able to reach the plug without taking the pan back down. So it's not as simple as just reaching up under there to undo your oopsie. Keep that in mind.
Next step is to start mounting hardware for the skid plate. Not in the instructions, but we do suggest Loctiting that nut onto there before we tighten it down so it doesn't work its way out.
It is imperative that you do not put Loctite on the rest of the threads, only where the nut is going to be. Otherwise, this thing is going to be very interesting to get down, because you'll have a bolt fitting that you can't easily access the head of.
What size is it, Kyle?
It is 19 millimeters.
Do they call that a torque or is it Guten tight?
Standard German spec, Guten tight. Now, like we said, you don't have to put the Loctite on, but it helps.
You notice I pulled that joke video.
Yes. Hey! Yeah, want to bend that way a little towards me? So I gotta pull these out.
Yeah. Okay, so as you can see, we are fitting the skid plate, and it comes with studs that you have to remove a bolt from your center section here, and then replace it with a big nut stud. Stud. Big nut.
This one, right?
No, forward one.
Sure, this one.
Yep.
You don't have to have snap-on tools, but it helps.
You can also buy that long ratchet from Harbor Freight.
Click. Oh.
You're loosening, not torquing. You don't want it to click.
All right, you want to work that? I'll get the other one out.
Yeah.
Yeah. One.
Oddly missatisfied.
You want to Oh, just like For those of us who don't know already, which is most everybody, those large nuts are 1 3/16. And what I did over here to run the stud in is I took the large nut that is going to get run up, and that's going to provide your clamping force on the subframe and control arm mount. So I took them and I wedged them together to clamp down the stud so I could turn the stud and thread it into his hole. And I threaded in until there is one thread protruding from the top. That way you know it has full thread engagement. You're not just going to yank out half or a quarter of the threads that are in that hole.
Kyle pointed out to me just earlier, the nuts that hold the skid plate on, they're conical, so that way they don't catch on stuff on the bottom of it. Pretty neat. All right, so now we're installing the splash guards on the side. There is a little bit of clearancing that has to get done just to make it easier to get the skid plate out, in and flush. We used to go out to here and then catch the body with some material there. Same thing on the other side.
We only have 8 screws. Your mileage will vary. So just keep track of those. They tend to walk off and end up in your tire. It's less than ideal.
Right, now we are installing the skid plate. Our whole purpose for being here. I want to do one of them fancy nuts. Heck yeah. That doesn't line up. Like at all.
Just bend the bracket. Can you push on it at all? Ouch, fingers. Sorry. All right.
Tighten down vigorously.
I wouldn't go too crazy.
skid plate. All right, we have the skid plate in. All tightened down. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments and we will gladly answer them. Other than that, that's a skid plate from Deisel Geek on a
Mark 6 Volkswagen GTI.
All right, so that's this week's video. Skid plate's in. Kyle did some stuff up here to fix things he needed to do. Hopefully that was a good how-to. Like I said earlier, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments and we'll get to you. I read every one of them. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And this is That Dude's Garage. We'll catch you on the next one. Keep those wrenches turning.